evening, everybody. From Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati, we bid you welcome to Reds baseball. The Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies, the first of a three-game weekend here in Cincinnati, and a couple of left-handers will be pitching in the series opener. Charlie Leibrandt for the Reds, Randy Lurch for the Phils. We'll be back to take a look at the starting lineups in just a moment. If you're ready now, the starting lineups tonight for the Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off at first base, Pete Rose. Batting second, right fielder Bake McBride. Hitting third at third base, Mike Schmidt. Batting fourth in left field, Greg Luzinski. Hitting number 5, the catcher, Bob Boone. Batting sixth in center field, Gary Maddox. Hitting number 7, the shortstop, Larry Boa. Batting eighth at second base, Ramon Aviles. And batting ninth and pitching for the Phillies, left-hander Randy Lurch. Again, going over the Phillies batting order, it's Rose at first base, McBride in right field, and Schmidt at third base. Luzinski in left field, Boone catching, Maddox in center. With Boa at shortstop, Aviles at second, and Lurch pitching. For Cincinnati to lead it off in left field, Dave Collins. Ken Griffey will play right field and bat second. Shortstop Davey Concepcion will hit third. Batting in the fourth spot, the catcher, Johnny Bench. Hitting fifth at third base, Ray Knight. Junior Kennedy will play second base and bat number 6. Hitting seventh at first base, Dan Dreesen. Batting eighth in center field, Sam Mejias. And batting ninth and pitching for Cincinnati, left-hander Charlie Leibrandt. Once more for the Reds, it's Collins in left field, Griffey in right field, Concepcion at shortstop. Bench catching, Knight at third base, Kennedy at second base. With Dreesen at first, Mejias in center, and Leibrandt on the mound. Well, his first pitch to the Philly leadoff batter, Rose, is high for a ball, and this game is underway. Pete batting .229. Slow start, no home runs and 2 RBIs. Leibrandt's 1-0 is taken up, and the count goes to 2-0. Rose, McBride, and Schmidt here in the top of the first inning. And, of course, Bake McBride, the only left-handed batter in the Philadelphia lineup, what with Rose, as Joe mentioned, and Boa being switch hitters. The 2-0 is high, and Leibrandt quickly falls behind at 3-0. The Reds are 17-10 after taking 2 out of 3 in New York. A game back of the Astros, who open up a weekend series in Atlanta tonight. There's strike one call. And the Philadelphia Phillies show a seasonal record of 11 wins and 10 losses, but this has been a very, very hot club of late. It's won 5 out of its last 6. Rose takes low, ball 4, and so the leadoff batter in the game gets a walk. He'll bring up the right fielder, Bake McBride. Defensively for Cincinnati, it's Dreesen at first base, Kennedy at second, Concepcion at short, and Knight at third. An outfield of Collins left, Mejia center, Griffey right. Johnny Bench has now walked out to the mound to talk with Charlie before he goes to work against the left-handed batting McBride. Bake hitting .289, 17 RBIs. This Philly club, as everybody expected it would be, has been very strong offensively, a team batting average of .274. So Rose takes the lead at first base as Leibrandt looks him in the eye and comes to McBride, and the pitch is a breaking ball down and away for ball 1. Outfield pretty much straight away for Bake. Sam Mejias maybe a step or two toward left field in his center field position, but Griffey straight away in right. There's a throw to first, and Collins pretty much straight away in left field. Now, Rose gets a walk on 5 pitches, and Leibrandt behind of McBride, a ball, no strikes, with Schmidt waiting on deck. Rose jockeys back and forth. He's running. The pitch is swung on. A ground ball slapped to second. No play on Rose, but McBride thrown out by Kennedy. 1 away. So with a runner in scoring position, the batter will be Mike Schmidt. Schmidt hitting .318, the National League home run leader with 8, and he's driven in 22 runs. So Mike Schmidt has gotten off to quite a start and has really been on a tear of late. Needless to say, over the years, this has been some kind of profitable ballpark for Mike Schmidt to play in. He's hit a lot of home runs here at Riverfront. Trying to get Rose home from second with 1 gone in the inning. Schmidt takes it below the knees, a ball. Dick Stello, the plate umpire, at first base. Bruce Fremming at second. Lanny Harris at third. John Kibler. Schmidt leveling the bat, the outfield around toward left and deep, and onto the plate, and a half-swing foul back evens the count of the ball and a strike. Needless to say, the first career appearance for Charlie against Philadelphia. I'm talking about the consistency with which he has so far pitched this season. He's allowed 3 runs or less in all of his 5 major league starts. Had a shutout win over Atlanta, a victory over Chicago in the first game of the doubleheader here last Sunday. Schmidt fouls it out of play, and he's behind 1-2. And in both of his losses, the Reds suffered shutouts at the hands of the Braves and Rick Matula. And then Kenny Forsch bested him, both by identical 3-0 scores. Oh, with a fine 2.13 earned run average, Charlie Leibrandt facing the Phillies in this series opener in Cincinnati. Rose walked, moved to second on the Bake McBride ground ball to Kennedy. Charlie taking his time here against Schmidt as he sights a sign from bench, checks back at second, and brings a pitch out of the plate. High and inside, 2-2. Phillies were a slow starting club, but as mentioned a moment ago, 5 wins in the last 6 games, and right now they are 3.5 games behind Pittsburgh in the East, up high, ball 3. And a half game behind the second-place Chicago Cubs. Cubs, by the way, were beaten this afternoon at home by the San Francisco Giants 6-3, so Philadelphia has a chance to move past the Cubs and into second place in the East if they can win tonight. Schmidt's on with a walk, and that's the second of the inning allowed by Charlie Leibrandt after being out in front 1-2 on Mike Schmidt. He loses him on the payoff pitch and now has to face Greg Luzinski with 2 on and 1 out. Luzinski hitting .288. 7 home runs and 18 RBIs. This has been the most potent tandem in the National League. Schmidt hitting third, Luzinski batting fourth up to this point. He takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Leibrandt hoping to make Luzinski hit the ball on the ground at somebody, but right now he's having trouble throwing the ball over the plate as he falls behind 2-0, and now Bill Fisher will go to the mound.
Marty, right now it looks like Charlie's trying to guide the ball, and when you do that, you really get into problems, and I think this would be what Fish is discussing with him, to go ahead and throw the ball, not try to guide it. And as I say, you can get in a lot of trouble by trying to aim or guide whichever way you want to put it.
Fish coming back to the dugout. Johnny Bench moving back to the plate, and Charlie will now resume pitching to Luzinski, a count of 2-0. Big Phillies left fielder, a man who really slimmed down during the off-season months. Swing and a miss. Got the pitch up. Luzinski didn't get it. The count goes to 2-1. Lost something like 25 pounds, Luzinski. Also has started wearing specs. Obviously, based on his early season productivity, it's really paid off for him, the loss of weight and the glasses also. He hits one into center field. Sam Mejia's hardly moving out of his tracks. Picks it off. Rose tagging at second base will move on up to third and slides in safely to beat a possible tag by Ray Knight. The ball getting away from Ray around the third base bag, but Rose advancing on the fly ball to center, and the 2-out batter will be catcher Bob Boone. Boone starts off the series hitting .273. He's homered twice. He's driven in 7 runs. Interesting statistic on the Phillies stat sheet. They've hit a total of 19 home runs, and Mike Schmidt and Greg Luzinski have hit 15 of the 19. Boone, a right-handed batter, takes a breaking ball on the inside corner, strike call. Luis Aguayo, an infielder, he's hit 1. Gary Maddox has hit 1, and as we mentioned, Bob Boone has hit 2. That's been the home run story for the Phillies. Pitch outside, 1-1. Pete Rose at third base, Mike Schmidt at first. They've had walks in the inning. McBride has grounded out, and Luzinski has flied to center. And the 1-1 to throw to first will have Schmidt stepping back. Leibrandt with a long look into Johnny Bench. Now straightens up on the mound, checks the runners over. The 1-1 pitch. Boone takes it low, 2-1. Leibrandt going after his 3rd win of the year tonight. And the Reds hoping to win their 5th game in the last 6 tries. Won the doubleheader here Sunday against the Cubs, and 2 out of 3 then in New York. Swung on and hit to left field. That's going to be a base hit. Ball gets by Dave Collins. Rose will score. Schmidt comes to third. Boone goes to second. 2-out double by Bob Boone, and Philadelphia leads 1-0.
Marty, that was a breaking ball out over the plate and right where any hitter should really handle it. And Charlie, I'm sure, wanted it in more. It looked like a slider, and it was right out over the plate and a good spot for the hitter to handle it.
Well, Bob Boone picks up his 8th run batted in as the first continues for Philadelphia center fielder Gary Maddox. Maddox batting .225. He's hit 1 home run. He's driven in 13 runs. Well, Philly runners at second and third, and Maddox swings and fouls it back and over the screen as Lee Brandt gets the ball in on the fist of the right-handed batter. Well, I'll tell you, the Reds and the Phillies have had quite some games over the last 4 or 5 years. Swung on and fouled out of play, 0-2. Last year, the Reds beat them 8 times in 12 tries, including winning 4 and losing 2 here at Riverfront Stadium, and had the same record at the Bet in Philadelphia, high and inside with a fastball. In fact, the Reds have won the season series from the Phillies 9 of the last 11 years, and have beaten them 26 times in the last 33 regular season games at Riverfront Stadium. That dates back to the middle of the '74 season. Down low for a ball. 2-2 now on Maddox. On deck, shortstop Larry Boa. Well, Lee Brandt walking 2 in the inning, and 1 so far has come back to haunt him. That being Pete Rose, who scored easily on the double by Bob Boone. Maddox fouls it off as he chases a pitch away. The count holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schmidt leading at third, Boone at second. Lee Brandt kicks and he fires, and Maddox swings and hits one into shallow right, but going back is Kennedy, and the second baseman gloves it for the inning-ending out. Philadelphia gets 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left on, and after a half inning of baseball, the Phils won and the Reds are coming to bat. The end of 2 in Atlanta. The Braves lead the Houston Astros 3-1. Terry Poole hit a first-inning home run for Houston to get the scoring underway, but the Braves came back with 3 in the bottom of the first. Dave Collins leading it off against Randy Lurch, and the pitch to the left fielder is taken. Well, I don't know whether the ball hit the bat or got off the glove of Boone. It looked like it glanced off Bob Boone's glove, so right now we'll call it a ball. Collins with a 6-game batting streak, which he has hit .360. He swings and lines it foul down the right field line. It counts 1-1. On the year, David batting .310, no home runs and 5 RBIs. Ken Griffey on deck. He'll be followed by Dave Concepcion. Lurch to the plate. Collins swings and fouls it off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So far this season, Lurch has proven to be very hittable in 33 1/3 innings. He's been touched for 38 hits. Struck out 16, walked 9. This is 6th start of the year, has 1 complete game. Collins takes it high, and the count squares at 2-2. Give Dave room down the left field line and also into left center. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball down low for ball 3. So Collins has run the string out against Randy Lurch. And the payoff pitch is coming right here. And that's ball 4 high as Lurch misses with a fastball. And Collins in the bottom of the first, like Rose in the top half, draws a leadoff walk. That brings up Ken Griffey. He leads the club in hitting with an average of .319, and boy, had some kind of series in New York. Capped it off in that Wednesday night 12-inning affair Griffey did by getting on base 6 straight times. He had 3 walks and 2 singles and a double, and scored the winning run in the 12th inning on that base hit by Junior Kennedy. Well, Griffey waiting on Lurch, and here comes a pitch, and Griffey takes a strike. Now, Collins has a 6-game batting streak. Ken Griffey has hit in 7 straight games, going 15 for 27. That figures out to a .556 batting average. Lurch now will throw to first. And Griffey has been on base 22 times in his last 54 trips to the plate, including 7 walks. So a very hot hitter in the Cincinnati lineup, Ken Griffey. He hits a ground ball to shortstop. Boa goes on to Aviles to throw to first, not in time. It gets away, rolls into foul territory, and Ken Griffey moves on to second base. He takes a turn, puts on the brakes, and he'll settle for second. Aviles making a bad throw after taking the flip from Larry Boa as it bounced off the glove of Rose and rolled toward the Cincinnati bullpen. That'll be a throwing error, moving Griffey on to second base with 1 out.
I think that comes, Marty, from not knowing your players in a sense, because I'm sure Manny Trio, who turns a double play as well as anyone, probably would not even thrown the ball with Kenny's speed.
Of course, Manny Trio, the regular second baseman for the Phillies, he has just recently come off the disabled list, and we were talking with Dallas Green in the Philly clubhouse before the game tonight about was Trio ready to play, and he said yes, and he's not in the lineup, Dallas said, because Aviles has been doing a good job, and they're going to stay with him for a while. So the tying run is at second with 1 out. Here's Dave Concepcion, and Davey takes the first pitch high from the left-hander Lurch. Davey hitting .196, 2 homers and 12 RBIs. Phillies leading 1-0, home first inning. Checking the pitch. Way out in front and bounces it foul off the first base line about 10 feet from the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm really looking forward to seeing Steve Carlton pitch tomorrow. We were talking with Ray Shore, the Red Super Scout, and later on Phillies pitching coach Herm Starrett. And both say that Carlton is throwing harder this year than he has thrown in a number of years. And he has gotten off to some kind of start. 5-1 and an ERA under 2. Strike 2 call. Davey behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it should be some pitching matchup. Carlton for the Phillies and Seaver coming off of a strong 8 in New York on Monday night. Lurch kicks and throws. Davey swings, ground ball, base hit left field. Now they're going to hold Griffey at third. Kenny had to hold up to see whether or not that ball was going to get through, and Luzinski charges and comes up throwing. So Davey singles Griffey to third base. Reds are threatening, and the batter will be catcher Johnny Bench. John batting .227. He's homered once. He's knocked in 4 runs. Lurch looking at the runners on the corners, into the pitch. The Bench swung on, fly ball. That's going to be deep enough into right center, where McBride waits to make the catch to get Ken Griffey home. Sacrifice fly for Johnny Bench, and we're tied at 1. Bench gets his 5th run batted in. Davey stays at first. 2 outs. Ray Knight steps to the plate. You know, Reds baseball comes alive all season long on the Reds Radio Network. WKOB, AM and FM in Wellston, Ohio. WCBK in Martinsville, Indiana. WCBR, AM and FM in Richmond, Kentucky. And WOPI in Bristol, Tennessee. Reds have tied it up. Here's Ray Knight batting .290, club leader in RBIs with 18. He's hit 3 home runs. Strike to him. Pete Rose holding at first against the leading Dave Concepcion. Knight takes it away for a ball, 1-1. Knight with the 18 RBIs, 5 away from National League leader Jose Cruz of Houston. He's knocked in 23, as has Steve Garvey of the Dodgers. Another throw to first base. Mike Schmidt by himself in second place with 22. Kenny Reach of the Cardinals, what a start he's had, 21 RBIs, and 6 players are tied with 19. Davey, good lead at first. Knight checking his swing. The breaking ball low. 2-1. Collins led off with a walk. Griffey forced him at second with a ground ball to shortstop, but Avila's bid for the double play went awry as he threw it away. Griffey going to second. Advanced to third on the hit by Concepcion and comes home on Bench's fly ball to right. Knight checks his swing on a pitch up. Bob Boone wants a call from first base umpire Fremming. He says ball. 3-1. Ray Knight settling back in there as Randy Lerch looks for the sign, picks it up from Boone, and the runner going. Pitch is taken, ball 4, and the Reds get their second walk of the inning as Ray Knight gets one from Lerch. The batter will be second baseman Junior Kennedy. We'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. They were 2 on and 2 out. Swings and misses at a pitch down. Junior hitting .280 with a home run, 13 RBIs, and of course had the game-winning RBI in the win over the Mets on Wednesday night. Single to left off Pat Zachary to score Griffey with a winning run. In the dirt, count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Really been impressive the way the game-winning RBIs have been spread around for Cincinnati. Concepcion and Foster and Knight have 3 apiece. Then comes Dreesen and Griffey and Kennedy with 2 each. Collins has 1. Spillman has 1. So a lot of people have gotten in on the act. That's low. 2 balls, a strike. Lerch having trouble throwing strikes in the bottom half of the first, a bit as if Charlie Leibrandt did. Outside, 3-1. Dave Concepcion at second, Ray Knight at first. A 1-1 game in the first inning. And the 3-1 pitch from Randy Lerch to Junior Kennedy. Swing and a foul behind the plate. Well, two games remaining in the series, both starting at 2:15 tomorrow and Sunday. Mike Lacoste and Dick Ruffin will be the pitching matchup on Sunday afternoon. Reds will be off on Monday. Then the Mets come in here for a Tuesday night game at 8:05, and then Wednesday at 12:30, business day special. There's a throw to first. Rose way off the bag, but Lerch threw over there. He's playing deep at first base with a 3-2 count on a hitter, but Lerch going that way anyway. Runners will be moving on this payoff pitch to Kennedy, and here it is. Swung on and foul over the screen. And crank it up again. Concepcion goes back to second, Knight to first. Danny Dreesen would be up next if Kennedy keeps the first inning going for Cincinnati. 3-2 on the way. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. Back-to-back 2-out walks tonight, and Kennedy fill him up for left-handed batting Danny Dreesen. Danny hitting .205 with 2 homers and 13 knocked in. He, the 7th man to hit in the inning. Phillies sent 6 batters to the plate in their half of the first. Well, Danny trying to hit the left-hander here and send some runs scampering across the plate. He fouls it off third base side and way back up into the seats. Lerch going from the windup. Dreesen with a check swing, foul ball. And he is quickly behind at no balls and 2 strikes. Lerch pitching. Dreesen taking outside. Ball gets away from Bob Boone, but not far enough to allow anybody to move up. Lerch breaking off the mound quickly to cover the plate in the event there had been movement. Concepcion, Knight, Kennedy, third, second, and first respectively, and Lerch looking to get that big final out of the inning and keep the game tied at 1-1. Glances to third and comes to the plate. Ground ball slapped to second. Aviles' play will be to Rose at first. That's the out on Dreesen, and that's the inning. Cincinnati gets 1 run, 1 base hit, 1 Philadelphia error, and 3 men left on. At the end of 1 complete, the Reds won and Philadelphia won. Let's see what they'll do here with Danny. Will they turn him loose on this pitch or have him taking? Lurch has got to come to him or face Sam Mejias with the bases loaded. Dreesen taking all 4 inside. All 4 pitches were inside. So the bases are loaded. Second time tonight the Reds have loaded them up. This comes here in the 5th with 1 away and Sam Mejias the batter. Sam has popped up foul to Boone and struck out. Single by Bench, a stolen base, an intentional walk to Kennedy, and a most unintentional walk to Danny Dreesen. So Randy Lurch doesn't help himself any after intentionally walking Kennedy. He can't throw strikes to Danny. Here's a pitch to Mejias, and Sam takes it low for a ball. Sam would like to celebrate his 28th birthday with a big blow here. He swings and drives one into right center field. That's a base hit. Ball goes to the wall. Bench scores. Kennedy scores. Danny Dreesen trying to score. Here's a throw to the plate. He's in there. Sam Mejias indeed comes up with a birthday present for himself as he drives one into the gap in right center to clear the bases. 3 runs are home. Sam is at third, and Cincinnati leads at 5-1. That'll be a 3-base hit for Sam Mejias. Philadelphia skipper Dallas Green making the slow walk from the dugout, and we may be getting a Philadelphia pitching change. He's going to go to his bullpen as Mejias sends Bench home, Kennedy home, and Dreesen home with a triple to right center. So we've got a break in the action here in the bottom half of the 5th inning as the Phillies change pitchers, and we'll be back in just a moment. Collins hitting .315. Came back off that pulled hamstring muscle and has really been stinging the baseball. That's downstairs, 2-1. Got Hector Cruz coming up next. It'll be his first plate appearance of the night. LeGros with a pause in the pitch. Swung on, ground ball, shortstop. Boa backhands, goes to Aviles. Quick throw to first, double play. Taylor-made ground ball to shortstop, and Laren LeGros pitches the Phillies out of the inning, but the Reds get 3 runs on 2 base hits. No errors and 1 man left on at the end of 5 full. The Reds 5 and the Phillies 1. Oh, wait a minute. Let's correct that. Geronimo's in center. Cruz goes from left to right. And the batter to lead it off will be Larry Boa. Here's a pitch, and Boa takes a strike at the letters. Cruz in left field, Geronimo in center, and Mejias in right. Swung on, and a fly ball hit to Geronimo. He circles, and he makes the catch. Boa out, fly ball center field. The batter will be second baseman Aviles, who has gone 0 for 3 in the game. Not only is Charlie Leibrandt 2 outs away from winning his 3rd game of the year, but he's also 2 outs away from becoming the first left-hander to beat Philadelphia this season. They were 3-0 against lefties coming into this one. Ball is high and inside. Manny Trio on deck to bat for Ron Reed. Aviles takes it high, ball 2, 2-0. Tommy Hume staying ready in the bullpen. That's over for a call strike. Over the last 4 1/3 innings, Leibrandt has given the Phillies only 2 hits, and one of them was an infield base hit off the bat of McBride that scored their last run in the 7th inning. Swung on, drilled to right center field. Mejias got it. He had to fight the lights and the oncoming baseball as he went down on one knee to pick it off. Good play by Sammy Mejias for the second out. Well, the Phillies come down to their final out, and Manny Trillo bats, pinch hitter for Ron Reed. We mentioned earlier, Trillo just coming off the disabled list on Wednesday, out since the 19th of April when he suffered a right ankle injury at Montreal. Batting .417 in limited playing time. Ball to him. Right-handed batting Manny Trillo. And it's too low again. Ball 2, 2-0. Leibrandt sights a sign, rocks, kicks, and fires. Trillo takes it high, ball 3. On deck, Pete Rose with a count, 3 balls and no strikes on the pinch hitter Trillo. In there for strike 1 call. Well, Charlie Leibrandt not relinquishing the base on balls as yet as Trillo was taking all the way, and he got the pitch in. Kicks and he throws. Trillo takes ball 4, 2-out walk, and we'll pause for station identification on the Cincinnati Reds Baseball Network. That 2-out walk to Trillo allows Rose to hit for the 5th time, but the 4th officially. He's 1 for 3 with a walk, and he has scored a run. Pete looks at a strike. He has really hit the ball hard his last 2 times up. He lined to center in the 4th, and Concepcion ranged far to his left in the 7th inning to throw him out on a hard hit ground ball up the middle. Low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike to Pete Rose. Rose came in batting .229. He's now hitting .233. Leibrandt trying to nail it down. If he can get Rose, this one is history. 1-1 to the plate. Swung on, ground ball second. Kennedy goes to Dreesen, and this one belongs to the Reds. Charlie Leibrandt, outstanding again tonight. In 6 starts now, he has not given up any more than 3 runs in a game. Tonight, he gives the Phillies 2 runs on 7 hits. The Reds move into a first-place tie as they score a 5-2 win over the Phillies, and we'll be back in just a moment. Charlie Leibrandt continued his fine pitching tonight as he goes all the way to beat the Philadelphia Phillies 5-2 on 7 hits. But really, it looked in the first inning as if Charlie, uncharacteristically for him, was going to be suffering from control trouble on the night. He walked the leadoff batter, Pete Rose. 1 out later, he did the same with Mike Schmidt. And after getting Luzinski on a fly ball to center, served up a double down the left field line to Bob Boone to drive Rose in and give the Phillies a 1-0 lead. Reds came back, however, in the bottom of the first inning to tie it up. Dave Collins working Randy Lurch for a walk. Griffey forced Dave with a ground ball to shortstop, but when Aviles tried to get the double play, threw the ball away, and Griffey ended up at second. He moved to third on a base hit to left field by Dave Concepcion, and Kenny scored when Johnny Bench launched a sacrifice fly to right field. The Reds broke the tie and went out in front to stay in the second. A 2-out double down the right field line by Dave Collins, and a following base hit to center by Ken Griffey, Kenny getting his 11th RBI of the year. The Reds go out in front 2-1, and of course Griffey had the game-winning RBI. The big blow in the game, and the one that took the heat off of Charlie Leibrandt, came in the 5th inning. Johnny Bench opened up the proceedings with a base hit to left, stole second base. 1 out later, the Phillies elected to intentionally walk Junior Kennedy to bring up the left-handed batting Danny Dreesen, but Randy Lurch then unintentionally walked Dreesen to load him up, brought up Sam Mejia. Sammy celebrating his 28th birthday today, and boy, he will remember this one for a while. Sam would like to celebrate his 28th birthday with a big blow here. He swings and drives one into right center field. That's a base hit. Ball goes to the wall. Bench scores. Kennedy scores. Danny Dreesen trying to score. Here's the front of the plate. He's in there. Sam Mejia indeed comes up with a birthday present for himself as he drives one into the gap in right center to clear the bases. 3 runs are home. Sam is at third, and Cincinnati leads at 5-1. Philadelphia rounded out the scoring as things turned out in the 7th inning with a one-out bloop double to right field by pinch hitter Lonnie Smith and a two-out infield single off the bat of Bake McBride. But as we mentioned earlier, Lebrand getting stronger as the game progressed gave the Phillies only those 2 7th-inning base hits and the last 5 innings of pitching. The Reds had 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 11 stranded. The Phillies 2 runs, 7 hits, an error, and 8 left on. Lebrand getting the win. He's 3-2. Lurch taking the loss. He is 0-4. So the Reds with the win move into a virtual tie for first place, and they'll try to keep it going in the middle game tomorrow. A 2:15 start as Tom Seaver goes to the mound with a record of 1-1 against the ace of this Philadelphia pitching staff, lefty Steve Carlton. He has won 5 and lost 1. Seats available both for the game tomorrow and the 2:15 start here on Sunday afternoon. That, of course, will be the Reds' annual high school marching band festival. As for us, we'll be along with the pregame shows tomorrow afternoon on most of these same stations, beginning at 1:45 Cincinnati time. Again, the final score tonight in a game that took 2 hours and 29 minutes to play before a Riverfront Stadium crowd of 32,583. The Reds 5 and the Phillies 2.